Just super proud of our team. Um, Missouri State's got a really good ball club and some really talented players. Alston Mason, he and Chance Moore and Donovan Clay are three really, really terrific ball players. So they got a good club, and we knew it was going to be a tough challenge. We obviously played them last year at their place, so we knew and how good they were and really respected them as a club. But I'm again just super proud of our team, just trying to continue figure things out. We've had to make some changes, obviously changes in the lineup, changes in our playing style, running new offensive sets that are some 2 or 3 days old, some 10 days old. So just how our guys have just stuck together over these last couple of weeks and just grinding out a tough win. I think obviously this is our third overtime game here, and so I think teams that are really fragile or weak or soft, I guess is the way to say it, all of a sudden the other team scores the last 6 points of the game, it goes in overtime, and you fold and you go away. I thought our guys were saying the right stuff in the huddle. At that moment, I really had a sense of confidence about where they were. Didn't guarantee that we were going to win the game, but I really liked their mindset coming out of that huddle. And Elias makes the first basket of the overtime, and obviously got a great win. Questions?
You mentioned the offense getting more comfortable with some of the new sets you're running. I think that was evident early when y'all got maybe an open shot the first 5 times down, and they just didn't fall.
Yep.
How proud of you were of the team responding to that, and you keep shooting those shots when they weren't falling?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That we clearly haven't been shooting the ball at a high clip over the last month. It feels like 2 or 3 weeks anyway. We came in the game, we were shooting 26% from three, and we missed our first several, and then ended the game shooting 33%. But if you take those 5 or 6 out, kind of the way you start, I thought we kind of got going. And, it just takes a couple of guys to kind of get the lid off the basket, and then, your teammates are saying, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. And so I just thought we looked and played with pace and confidence. On the offensive side of the ball, you want to make sure that you're generating the right looks for the right guys. And are they open looks? And I thought we had some high-quality looks all night.
I think you guys knocked down a season-high 3-pointers tonight. How much does that open up the offense when you guys are making those shots?
It's everything. If you can't make shots on the perimeter, then anybody's going to pack it in. And now you can't operate on the block, and there's no driving lanes to get to the bucket to get fouled, to get layups. You've got to be able to make shots to make defenses spread out. And I thought our we made 12 tonight, so there was at least the threat of making shots. The difference in guys being able to what we call long closeouts, really get out to a shooter versus a short closeout. Your help side defense, your man catches it, well, I'm going to stop 4 or 5 feet short of a guy that can't make a shot. And now he has no chance to feed the post or rip drive it. So the threat and the ability to make shots is what really opens up your offense.
Jared, big advantage for you guys on second chance points tonight. You had 4 offensive rebounds, and the team really as a whole got a lot of offensive boards. What led to that, do you think, tonight?
I think just sharing the ball and really moving the ball around. We got really predictable shots, so it was easy to go find where the ball was going. Opposite side shot, it bounces to the opposite side, I go get the rebound. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time when you grab the rebound, you don't have to go straight back up. You just share it again. So I think that's what really helped us. In terms of,
you rarely get out to, it's a great point by Jared. We talk about it all the time. You rarely get offensive rebounds when you took a bad shot. You just surprised all your teammates that you shot it. Yeah. And so nobody was thinking to go to the offensive glass. You get more when your 4 teammates knew that you should shoot it and you're going to shoot it.
Jared, early in the game, they were double teaming you, and you were able to kick it out for open shots. And then when you guys started making shots, they had to, single cover you. How does that open up your game in the post when it lets you kind of work down there a little bit?
I I think and something I've been working on is just keeping it a little bit more simple. You know, when I'm getting pressured and just catching it down low. Anyways, just keeping it slow, keeping it simple. Keeping it simple for me help open the game up because when I get doubled, I see the floor. So it helps me, like, calm down when I have the ball. So now when I have single coverage on me, it's easier to get to the basket because I know where guys are coming from. I know where doubles are coming from. I know where help is coming from now because I took my time in earlier possessions.
Nick, when you have to inbound the ball 7 times in a row at the end of regulation,
we were out of plays.
Does the playbook go that deep, or do you run a couple and then just say kind of get open?
We ran 2 different and ran both 2 different. Well, we ran one a different way. We showed 1, 2, or 3 ways and 2 or 3 other ways, and then ran a different one. But I don't think I've ever seen a team that's needing to foul with 18 seconds to go in the game and they have no fouls. And so when they have the jump ball and you only have 1 timeout, it does put a lot of pressure on you you've got to do it 7 times. I mean, you've got to inbound it cleanly 7 times. You can't have a turnover. You don't have 4 timeouts just in case you can't get it in, and you can't afford to get tied up. And so I thought our guys did a nice job of really executing without us burning timeouts.
Does JB have sort of an Omaha play call where he can flip the play on those football plays down there?
No, maybe we need to put in an Omaha. We're hiring a new football coach tomorrow morning, so I'm going to have to get some plays out of his playbook because we used them all tonight.
Jared, Donovan Clay presents a unique challenge defensively for you guys. What adjustments did y'all make in the game to make him less effective, particularly in the second half?
Just pressuring the ball. I was playing back a little bit, so I was giving him a chance to shoot. But we wanted him to be. He's a great player, but we wanted him to be PG instead of Paul Millsap. We wanted him to shoot the ball outside. Because he's a physical driver. So letting him get baskets at the rim opened his game up, and we knew that. So we kind of had to take that away from him.
Elias, it seemed like you were in rhythm outside early on tonight. What led do you think you get in that rhythm early on tonight?
My teammates and my coaches pushing me all week. And everybody's looking. They're like, Elias, you're a great shooter. Keep shooting. And I know I've been in a slump these past couple of games, but if it wasn't for them, they set me up. Coaches, they put me in the best positions, and it showed tonight.
And he put in the work. He really did. You've some guys that just think it's just going to happen. And this week, he, along with several of his teammates, just kept staying positive with themselves, positive with their teammates, and put in the extra work. I mean, you come in the morning, and before practice, they're already shooting. Later in the day, you walk across the court to go home, and they're back shooting. And it's not because of lack of effort. You got to work. You got to play yourself out of a shooting slump or whatever the case may be. And he's to be credited. He put in the work.
Elias, before you got in here, Jared was talking about keeping it simple on offense, not having to overthink things. I think that was really evident in the turnovers tonight. Only 6 as a team for you guys. How are y'all able to take better care of the ball tonight, particularly after some turnover troubles the past couple times out?
We just giving it to the guys, like giving it to Jared and Loof. They handled it pretty well tonight, and Coach Nick, he always emphasizes it, ball care. So, catching it with 2. So we knew we had to do.
Elias just mentioned Chris Nick, and Chris has stepped up in a big way these past 2 games. What is he doing as a true freshman coming in and making an impact right now for this team?
I think he grew up a lot over the last several months, just having to daily go against guys like Jared and Josh. But he was a talented young man. He's got legit size, and he wants to get good. He wants to get better. And so I think that's a big part of it. He's hungry. And I think he got more comfortable over the weekend against Wofford, just playing in minutes that, not that not all the minutes matter, but in a tight game, you're playing 18, 20 minutes. And so tonight he looked way more comfortable out there than he did just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that's the growth that a lot of freshmen are way different. If they're getting significant minutes, they're way different in March than they were in November. And you're starting to see that from Chris, to be able to put somebody in there that can provide rim protection, didn't turn it over, finding shooters out on the perimeter. He's going to be a good one for us. And I'm glad you pointed that out. I pointed him out to our team in the locker room after the game. The minutes that he's providing for us right now are important. I thought Jared was terrific with 14 points and 9 rebounds. But when Chris came in to get 4 rebounds in 12 minutes, you're talking about a rebound rate of 1 every 3 minutes. Most coaches want bigs to get 1 every 3.5 minutes, and that's a heck of a rate. So he's doing well.
Elias, Nick mentioned the shooting that y'all do. How many of those shots are going to be free throws for you guys? You think the next couple weeks?
We'll be back in here tomorrow. But we'll be in here every day shooting, and
It would have been less dramatic, perhaps, if we'd have made some more free throws.
Yes.
But we don't want anybody to go home. Keep it close.
Is it a psychological thing, you think? Because it seems like their form's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like what our issue with shooting the ball from behind the arc isn't because they were bad shots or bad shooters. At some point the percentages kind of correct themselves over the course of a 4 or 5 month season. I told our players, I said, if you'll go back, and I hope Donovan Sims doesn't kill me for saying this, but if you go back 2 years ago, after 7 games, he was shooting 16% from three. He's 5 for 30. His last 21 games, he was 39 for 101 and almost 40%. And that was an 0 for 11 in back-to-back games against Marshall and Western Kentucky. So if you take, he really shot the ball well late. The difference was Josh Jefferson and some of the other guys around him weren't in a shooting slump. And he was playing the game the right way. For our players right now, we got some guys that can really shoot the ball, but they're in that same kind of a slump together, and so they've worked together to come out of it together and continue to play the right way. We continue to guard, we continue to rebound, try not to have high turnovers, and then you just play yourself out of it. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Y'all.